and welcome to another episode of The Positive Side of the Bad Stuff. I'm Leslie Pogue, your host, and thank you so much for joining me. Today we are talking about the first step to stop shoulding, and that is to speak your truth, to live in your truth. Your true is. Now, what happens is, as we go along through life, we make choices. We make decisions. Things happen to us, for us, around us, and because of us. And as time goes on, we start to build a shadow. And that shadow follows us no matter where we go, no matter what we do. But a lot of times we don't like to look at that shadow. We don't like to identify that there is a shadow there that's keeping us from moving forward. Today I want to talk about how to identify your truth and getting rid of that shadow. Or at least making it more in line with you. Because we all have pieces of our life that will follow us no matter what we do. Our life is our history. We are a walking history book. And the person you are today is in direct correlation to that history. I personally am very happy with the good choices as well as the bad, because they made the person I am today. And this person's pretty cool. And I hope to get you to feel the same way about you, if you don't already. If you do already, woohoo, because that's how you should think about life. But today, let's look at our is and our truth. And if you tell the truth, it no longer has power over you. So hold on, we're going to talk about getting to your is and speaking your truth, and getting you to stop shoulding on yourself.
"28 Days to Happy" is a daily guide to walk you through acknowledging and accepting the truth about what's really going on in your world, to forgive yourself and others for the wrongs you feel have been done to you, and ultimately to identify and celebrate the happiness that is always there, no matter what comes your way. The Positive Side of the Bad Stuff is a handy companion when you need a pick-me-up. It's a collection of blogs that speak primarily to personal soft skills that we all manage every day, from joy to grief, from who cares to self-care. It will give you a guide to make sense of the things in your life and find your positive side of the bad stuff. Both books are available now at Amazon.com and my website at www.softskillsdirect.com.
We all have moments when we feel like we know something's going on. And it really helps to just say it out loud. I'm mad. I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. Identifying how you feel allows it to release. It allows it to start to lose a little bit of power over you. And here's the other thing, say, I'm happy. Sometimes we're around people and we're happy. We've actually done the work and we finally made it to our happy, or we're getting closer and we really feel happy, or we're just having a really good day. And everyone around you, or several people, or even one person is giving you this sad story, and it's a really good friend or family member, and you feel bad for feeling so good because they feel so bad. Ever feel that way? Never apologize for your happy. You don't have to, rub their face in it. Everything's so great with me, and this is working, and this is working, and this is great, and wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But don't discount how you feel because they're going through it, okay? And vice versa. If you are not at your best and someone else, your friend or family member or whoever is sharing with you, is on a high, take a moment and allow yourself to feel good for them, but then identify how you're feeling and be careful and TLC your own feelings. Okay? So make sure that you are identifying and you understand what you're really feeling. Yell, cuss, and cry, as I always say, and just get it out, So identify what's really going on, and don't be afraid to do that. You want to do that with yourself. You don't have to do that in public. Please don't do that in public. No one else has to know, your spouse, your kids, your friends, your family. No one else has to know your real feelings. But I will let you in on a secret. No matter how well we try to hide what's really going on, the people around us do know it's something. They might not know what, because you might not know what, but they know it's something as much as we try to hide it. So take a moment, take some time in the shower, in the bathroom, in your if you actually are lucky enough to be able and allowed to have private time, take time in your car, whatever it is, find those quiet moments to identify what's really going on. The next thing you want to do is just be good to you. You might be having a hard time figuring out what you're actually feeling, which that's fair. Sometimes it's hard to identify our feelings. Sometimes it's a modge podge of several different feelings and we don't really know where to land exactly yet. In those moments, you want to say that you're uncomfortable. Embrace that term. I'm uncomfortable. Here's why. Feelings are neither good nor bad. They just are. They're how you feel. You're not having a good day or a bad day. You're having a day. And there are things that are happening within that day that you are choosing to categorize as good or bad. But you're just having a day. When you land on uncomfortable, it neutralizes everything else and it allows you to just, one, move forward, but also it allows you the chance to get in touch with what's really going on and identify your real feelings. You want to do this, I should have said this in the beginning, so I'm going to pop it in right now. You want to be doing these feelings, looking at these feelings, and identifying your truth in all 4 pillars of your life. Personal, professional, financial, and spiritual. These areas. And on spiritual, you don't have to believe in God. You don't have, when I say spiritual, I mean, even if you're an atheist or you just believe in you, then just focus on how you feel as an overall person. But if you are spiritual or religious, then you want to look at how that is serving you, how you've been giving to that. Your personal and professional and financial are pretty self-explanatory. You have to be honest with yourself in your relationships, both at work and at home. You have to be honest with yourself about your real financial situation and where you want to get to. These are areas that are tough. They're tough to just say the awful truth. Or, again, on the flip side, if you're doing well, you might be surrounded by people who aren't. And it's tough for you to just be glowing in the wonderful gift that you've worked so hard for. Either way, be true to you. Identify your truth, live in your is, and accept that sometimes it might feel uncomfortable. So that's where you want to land. If you're having a hard time identifying your feelings, whether it's good or bad, if you land on uncomfortable, that'll buy you some time to kind of work through what's really going on and allow yourself the time to search those feelings and really identify what's happening. Okay? So that's step 1, step 1 and 2. Step 1 is to just identify it. Say what it is. Just call it a name. And if you can't, then step 2 is to land on uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable while you're in search of your true feelings. Okay? All right. The third and final step to getting closer to your is and speaking your truth is to purge. Yell, cuss, cry. Allow yourself a moment of time to eat the junk and the crap that you want, that comfort food that's like a hug in a bowl. Watch the TV and the movies that make you just bawl like a baby or laugh your head off to where your tummy hurts. Just go to the extremes and really go in search of those emotions. Find those triggers that help get you to dig in. And find those TV shows, those movies that echo how you feel. If you know that you're in the midst of the muck, then find some dramatic things, dramatic TV shows. I know I constantly go back to the early episodes of Grey's Anatomy when I'm in search of those deep feelings, because every episode had something to do with an emotional backup. There was always an underlining message in all of those shows. And sometimes you might hit on something that's like, yeah, that's it. You never know. How I Met Your Mother, all these different things, find comedy, drama, sci-fi, anything that resonates with you, that speaks to you, and use that to dig in to get to your triggers. And it might shake something loose, and you might have that aha moment where it's like, yeah, that's how I feel. I can relate to that. What's going on right there with that character? Find a movie, whatever. Cry. Cry, 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 cry. And yell. Yell at the top of your lungs. Get it out. Just tell the world, hey, leave me alone for just 2 seconds while I figure it out. You know? And don't be afraid to say it out loud. Years ago, Sinbad had a piece in his stand-up where he would say, when you see someone walking down the street talking to themselves, they're not crazy. They're just working it out. I'm going to need you guys to just work it out. So those are your 3 steps. Step 1 is just start trying to identify how you really feel, what's really going on. Yell, cuss, and cry. You're human, and sometimes you feel like crap. That's okay. That's okay. So identify how you really feel. If you're having trouble identifying how you really feel, step number 2, land on uncomfortable. Land there and just live in that for a moment while you're searching your feelings. It will come up. And the way to get closer to that is step number 3. Purge, purge, purge. Get it out. Get it out any opportunity you can, because you don't want it to blow up in those inopportune moments, like in front of your boss, at your kids or your spouse, in the middle of church. Have you ever been in church or in a group function and all of a sudden you just start bawling and you can't stop crying? I know, it's embarrassing. Identify what's really going on. So those are the 3 steps to the first step in Stop Shooting, which is to identify your is and your truth. That's our show for today. I hope that was helpful. Please do the work over the next week. And the next week we will talk about the 3 obstacles and 3 motivators that will help you to stop shooting. Thank you so much for joining me again. Always remember to tweet me, Facebook me, and send me questions and comments. I look forward to talking to you in future shows. And as always, until next time, go, be, do.